Welcome back to 101 Sports. I'm now joined by Stephen A. Harris and Natalie Beach to dissect superstitions in sports. So Natalie, let's hear about what sport has the weirdest superstitions.
It absolutely, no question, is baseball. Baseball invented the weird superstition. The whole nature of the game with all the streaks and slumps and how long you're playing 162 games almost every day, it just lends itself naturally to superstition. Players get into streaks, they get into slumps, they decide that something has caused this streak or this slump, so they're either going to get rid of it immediately.
That may be true, but in hockey, there's just so many weird things that these hockey players are doing. We got players like
what?
We got current players Sidney Crosby. Whenever they go on the road and they ride on the bus, every time they go over a train track, he has to put his feet up against the window. How does that help anything when you're in a slump or he doesn't even do it when he's in a slump?
Some of them will like put pine tar in their helmets before they play.
That seems like pretty normal to me. I don't know. And they have like playoff beards and they don't change their clothes. I get that they do that and that's dirty, but that just seems pretty normal. A lot of people do that, whether in the business world or in the sport world.
So that's the thing, is hockey superstitions are a little bit more normal in the scheme of sports.
Hockey superstitions, how are they normal? Patrick Waugh used to refer to the goalpost as his friends. They're inanimate objects.
Almost every
his
pitcher
friends
refuses to step on the foul lines before they get on the mound.
And most hockey players refuse to step on the blue line before. Have you ever seen a hockey player try to jump? That's not very graceful. It looks pretty ridiculous when you try to jump in skates.
The thing that baseball has that no other sports players have any superstition of is the perfect game. The whole idea of a jinx for a perfect game, no fan, no announcer, no one can say anything about the perfect game. Players will like move away from the pitcher on the bench when they're having a perfect game. You cannot mess with that.
And in hockey, you're not allowed to say the word shutout in the locker room before you go out.
Most teams will have a few shutouts during the year. Perfect game. This was a weird year when they were.
Which is why it should be less. Which is why it should be less common, or it shouldn't be as weird to say shutout in the locker room because they happen so often. No hitters happen so often. I can see that, but that just seems like it's a jinx. But shutouts happen so often that shouldn't be considered a jinx. I can't see. I just can't see how that's just weirder than that.
Off of the perfect game. I think that happened first. The curse of the Bambino. The entire city was blaming this like mystical curse for 80-some years because of one player being traded. I think it's baseball by far.
Okay, well, obviously both sports have their odd superstitions, but I feel like baseball is just kind of built on these weird things. Like everyone's heard of the classic slumper. That is all the time we have for this episode of 101 Webcast, but make sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. For everyone here on the show, we thank you for watching. And as always, whose side are you on?